On problems starting with, say, 37 to 48. You need to write the equation of a line that satisfies the given conditions. Express your final answers in standard form. It contains the point -3, -7, and is parallel to the x-axis. Okay, so in the last couple of examples, you said I needed the slope and you needed a point. If it is parallel to the x-axis, here's the y-axis, here's the x-axis. If it is parallel to the x-axis, what is the slope of that line? 0. Our slope is 0. How do you want to write the equation of this line? Do you want to use slope-intercept form? Do I have the y-intercept? No, I don't have the y-intercept. I have the slope and I have a point that has an x and a y. Okay, go ahead, say it. You said technically.
Well, the point is going to be whatever the y is, and the point is going to be the...
Whatever the y is in the point is going to be the equation of a line that is parallel to it with the slope-intercept of that one.
So it's just y equals -7, right?
Now, my next question then is this. Is this in standard form? It's solved for y equals mx plus b. So this would technically be slope-intercept form. So how could I make it in standard form? There is no, what'd you just say? There's no x. What number makes it no x?
0.
A 0. So if they want it in standard form, you have to put the 0x. If they said put it in slope-intercept form, then y equals a -7 would be fine. Okay, so what if I have a point -4, 7, and I want it perpendicular to the x-axis? So now perpendicular is straight up and down. Perpendicular to the x-axis. How do you write the equation through that point perpendicular to the x-axis? Same idea. Except this time it's going to be x is equal to the x value. Again, x equals a -4 is not in standard position. So what is the y value? X plus 0y equals a -4 is the equation in standard position. Is everybody okay with those two? Okay, what if I tell you it contains the origin and it is perpendicular to -2x minus 9y equals 4, perpendicular to. What is my point and what is my slope? What point is the origin? 0, 0. This equation, -2x minus 9y equals 4, is in standard position. If I have to have an equation perpendicular to this one, I have to know the slope of this line. How do I find the slope of the given equation? I didn't hear you. Yeah, you can solve for y. If you're solving for y, what do you do first? Add the 2x. -9y equals 2x plus 4. Then what? Divide by -9. If you divide by -9, then 2x over -9 plus 4 over -9, the slope is what? The -2 over 9. Now, I said perpendicular to, not parallel to. If it's parallel, you use this slope. If it's perpendicular, what do you do? The perpendicular slope is the opposite reciprocal. It was a negative, so I'm going to use a positive, and I'm going to flip my fraction. Instead of 2 over 9, it's going to be 9 over 2. M equal y minus y over x minus x. My slope is 9 over 2. Y minus 0 over x minus 0. I'm now going to substitute in my point and cross multiply. 9x equals 2y. 9x minus 2y equals 0 because we have to have it in standard form. Are you okay with that? Do you think you can handle it? For those of you who want a shortcut, I know a couple of you like shortcuts. You can take this equation in standard form and you can solve it to get your slope. We are really only interested, though, in, if it's the slope, we're really only interested in the numbers with the x value, right? The slope is the number in front of the x when you solve for y. To do this, we have to move this one over and divide by this one, correct? So my slope is 2x over 9 without the x. If my equation is 2x minus y equals 4, I have to do the opposite of the number in front of the x and divide by the number in front of the y. I don't care about the y-intercept if I'm only wanting my slope. So you don't have to solve for y. If you want to do that shortcut, that's fine. If I have a negative 2x plus 3y equals 8, I have to add the 2 and divide by the 3. So my slope is 2 over 3. Now, if you don't like that or understand it, you don't have to do it that way. That's fine. I will tell you, on 49 to 54, it says that you need to determine the slope and the y-intercept of the line. The y-intercept is a point. And I'm going to be very picky. Do not give me B. I don't want B. I want the point. I want the y-intercept. So the slope, m, equals the opposite of 5 divided by the negative 1. My slope is 5. The y-intercept is when the x is 0. Correct? I could substitute the 0 in for the x. Y equals a negative 9. Correct? The y-intercept, or b value, is the point 0, negative 9. You don't have to solve it for y to put it in slope-intercept form to get the slope or the y-intercept. Now, if you don't like those shortcuts, then by all means, solve it for y. Keep in mind, you've got to divide by that negative 1. Do not give me negative 9 only as the y-intercept. The y-intercept is a point. It needs to be an ordered pair, 0, negative 9.
What numbers did you say?
On 49 to 54. And then you're back to graphing. And it says the most appropriate method. That's the fastest way. I'm not going to check what your method is. I'm going to check that you've got the correct line drawn.